And it's brought to you by Ricky Bobby Inc.
You are goddamn right. Today, it's Saturday. We're going to go, we were already in the theater, in our new building, actually. And we're just, we've been walking around, checking everything out this morning. And now we're going to sit in our new chairs and do a Saturday matinee for Anchorman.
You almost forgot, huh?
I did.
You were going to say Ghostbusters or something, I know.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast, everybody. My name is Ron Bergendabs.
Oh. My name is News Anchor number 2.
News Anchor number 2. So we are here in our brand new studio that Pat and Nat have moved us into. We are now.
Don't ask us what their whole names are because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We still have yet to meet them. It's
Only
been
through the glass.
Yeah, it's been a very elusive.
Feels kind of like prison.
Mirror glass kind of situation, one-sided mirror, and so they moved us into this new place. We're in Malibu, California, right near the beach.
Boy,
we're in a more humble building this time. It's just a 2-story building. Upstairs is this recording studio, and
right. It does overlook the water. So.
And then we have the double-sided glass, and we have no idea what's on the other side of this double-sided glass. So there's a whole nother, the recording studio is pretty small, relatively, and this building is very big. So I don't know what's on the rest of the second story, and the lower floor is all beanbag chairs and swivel TVs hanging from the ceilings. And
very 70s vibe. Ron Burgundy would feel right at home.
Yeah, it's super fresh in there, and I like the feel. Go out on the beach. We could creep out some girls, and we could go to Freak Show. Isn't that here?
On the boardwalk.
Yeah, the Venice Beach Boardwalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that anywhere near where we are?
No.
No? All right. Well,
wrong beach, bro.
Like you guys know, like always, they blindfold us every time that we come into the studio. It's some sort of so we don't come in and use it when they're gone or something like that. I don't know. We really need to get self-sufficient and self-sustained so where we don't need executives. Like, look, we love Pat and Nat. We love them. We're appreciative for everything. Joey, can I talk to you over here real quick? Hey.
What's up?
I really think that we could do this on our own instead of, having the studio that we can't come in and can't have the beanbag chairs and everything. So it's like, I feel weird that we work here and that we don't know what's on the other side of this class.
Well, they're paying for shit right now, so.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great point, and that's why you're here. Okay, let's get back to it.
All right.
So, this morning, we were in our brand new theater downstairs in the basement, and it's really exactly like the first floor. It's just beanbags and TVs. So we were chilling down there watching today's film, which is Anchorman.
What?
Yeah. And this is one of those movies that is quotable as fuck. It's a classic. Pretty much every single scene is out of control, crazy. And a lot of production companies said, hey guys, this movie can't be done. You can't make a movie about Anchorman and have it be an hour and a half long. There's no way that you could do it. And a lot of people wouldn't buy the script until, and it finally, someone finally picked it up. I want to say it was Paramount, maybe not. And they released it, and it did good, as we can tell.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how they would have thought otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, right? It's kind of a gamble with betting on somebody like Will Ferrell because, you never know. You think it's going to be good, but it's hard to take somebody like him serious, because he probably is, popping off weird shit all the time. So it's you never know what is to be expected or like what's a joke or like any of that. You know what I'm saying? It's always like,
especially with this character,
to be determined.
When you imagine being, you know, like an executive at Paramount, and you're in charge of all this money that they have to, you know, allocate to scripts and people that are making projects, and you get in trouble if you give a bunch of money to someone that makes a flop. You know what I mean? And if you do too many, you get fired. So imagine having, you know, Will Ferrell or anybody famous for this matter come in with a script like Anchorman and just lay out the character for you, how he's like a chauvinistic, fucking like, you know, classic 70s male, and like how he's like borderline retarded, but also really smart in like a strange kind of way. Yeah. And he's like, has the swagger and is like a man's man. And it's like, you know, reading that, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to give you this money, bro. Like, I understand why they might have been a little hesitant at first. But
yeah, he's definitely, he's just like, you hear from a lot of people that work with him on like stuff, and they say, oh, he's an asshole, he never stops kidding around, da 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 da. But at the same time, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, this can't be real either.
Yeah,
you know, it's got to be part of the gag. So like, you never know. It's all perception. Maybe we're perceiving it as something that it really isn't, because then you look at like, he's got to be somewhat normal, you know. So I mean, I'm sure. Like, I mean, when the act only goes so far.
When I hear that, it makes me think of myself, who is, I can't stop joking around, and sometimes I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? So it sucks because people are assholes. You know what I mean? Everybody, every single person that's listening to this has been an asshole to somebody in the past year, and then afterwards you're like, man, that was kind of a dick move. And like, maybe you like apologize for it, maybe you never saw him again, maybe it's whatever, but it happens. But whenever a celebrity does it, they're under the microscope. So every time that the tiniest little thing happens that humans do, it becomes this giant thing. I can't believe they did that. And it's like, so what?
And it's like picked apart by a million different ways. And
yeah, and then it turns into, oh, Will Ferrell's an asshole. Just because one time he was like, look, leave me alone, dude. I only have 3 hours until I have to fucking shoot, and I'm tired. So can you stop fucking knocking on my trailer? And then it turned into, he's an asshole. You know what I mean? So it's like, I always take those stories with a grain of salt about celebrities. Unless I hear actual audio or see video proof. And even in that case, I don't believe Michael Cera.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Michael Cera shit.
Yeah, see, that's not real. Yeah, and it's like, and that's part of it. That's what we don't. A lot of people don't see it, man. It's all perception, and when people have no inner knowledge of like, or of like how any of it works, or like how the media really works, or like how celebrities like plan ahead for shit like this, or like whatever it is, you know, like people don't see like a lot of these are big productions. A lot of these are like things that people have been working on for months and months to make this fucking insignificant, meaningless thing seem normal when in reality it's all a production, you know. It's just like fucking all that shit, you know, like the Michael Cera shit that you saw, or like or like this fucking new Beyonce and Jay-Z shit that's going on, or
like the Birdman, you know, respect shit.
the Birdman shit, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's all perception and how you perceive it.
Yeah,
yourself.
like how you were saying. I don't know if you were saying it on the show or if it was just a conversation we were having, but you were the one that told me that when Drake put out his new album, he put out a bunch of PDF files with the album that was all the pictures for people to make memes out of.
Yeah. Look, on his new album cover where he's sitting on top of the building,
and it looks like a Grand Theft Auto loading screen.
Yeah, if you did the math, it would make Drake fucking 12 foot tall. So that wasn't even a real photo either. You know, none of it is. It's all like, it starts off from jump. It starts off being a meme, honestly. You know what I mean? So it's like, and the way that he shoots his videos, he does it green screen, so you can basically do whatever you want with it, make whatever you want with it. You know, like he understands what the public's going to do with it anyways.
Yeah. And that's
so he doesn't prohibit it. He fucking inhibits it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, you guys are going to make me the Jordan crying face meme. All right, motherfucker, take this. And he puts on a fucking crazy sweater and does some awkward dance moves, and now he's the fucking next big thing, you know? And he's the smartest dude in the world for doing it. It's the same thing with like Beyonce's album has fucking 55 writers. Everybody thinks this is Beyonce's album. Not one bit of it. If you have 55 people writing your album, that's the 55 people's album. You're just singing it.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Voice. You're just lending a voice, or she's just a tool for
You're
it.
just an artist, not a songwriter.
And she's just an example from my point, you know, because it's happening with everybody. Drake as another one. If there's this video I just posted recently, I'll go put it in the podcast group so everybody can see it again. But Drake's new album, every song on his new album is a sample from an old song. And on the video, it shows you where he took the sample from and who he took it from. And it's ridiculous, bro. He takes words and beats and everything. His whole album is just a compilation of other people's shit. Yeah. Turned in a new way. And then at the same time, he has all kinds of writers and shit to help write his tracks too. And that just basically takes all the real out of it. So my point was to it is like, if these are your real opinions, or if these are your favorite artists, you don't have your own opinion. Yeah. Basically, you let everybody else form your opinion because, you know, they're the ones who put it all together. So, like, they're forcing you to like this shit by making it mainstream. They're forcing you to be stupider by listening to fucking Young Thug and the shit that they choose to put on the radio, opposed to other shit that they should be playing, more conscious music or whatever. That
something
people
from
want to hear,
actual
like
artists that create
J. Cole
things.
Or somebody who doesn't have features that fucking does it 100% on their own rights and does everything themselves. You know, like the real artists shine no matter what. J. Cole still goes platinum, dude. J. Cole goes platinum having no features or no fucking nothing from nobody. Yeah. And then Beyonce and everybody else has to struggle to get there. With all the money and all the everything that they have,
this big old creator team,
the corporation that they are, exactly. So it's like if you like one over the other and you don't fully understand it, you don't really.
And
know
it tripped me.
Same with like news people, like Ron Burgundy, you know.
It tripped me out because like I always knew that there would be like ghostwriters and writing teams and people helping people write and shit. But I listened to like a lot of underground music when I was younger, and like independent artists who all write their own shit. And like I remember Yellow Wolf in particular when he released his latest album, Love Story. And we were talking about it on the podcast back when William Waffles was on the show. We were like talking about the album and how it was coming out. We were all excited. We played like a couple tracks off of it. And then when it came out, I looked into it and I found out that he had like 15 writers. And he only helped write on like 5 of the songs, and the rest of the songs he wasn't even involved in. And I was like, what the fuck? He's got writers now? So I look back at his old stuff, and he's always had writers. He's always had people writing for him, more and more now, because he has, you know, he's like on Interscope and shit. But even when it was like Still American, he still had people that were like 3 or 4 dudes that were helping him write his songs. And when you're like, you know, he's not the greatest example because he's not like the deepest artist, but when you're like out here, you know, expressing yourself in music, telling people stories about your life, how you feel, and, you know, giving life lessons. A lot of people that listen to hip hop in particular are lost in their lives. They don't have, you know, these parent figures, and they look up to these artists that they admire and, you know, that they idolize and shit when you're young and like you don't know any better. So if you're out here pushing like this life and these ideas and they're not even fucking yours, you know what I mean? And you're saying like, this is me and this is my struggle and this is what I feel like when I do this, but that's not even you. That's like something else that's been formulated to hit a certain crowd. And, you know,
it's weak, man. It's weak, and it sucks that people don't take the time to decipher the difference. You know what I mean? It's like most people don't care. They just like what they hear. If they hear something that they like and they like it, then they like it. You know what I mean? And they don't care why. Or they don't care, and that's fine too, you know, I guess. That's cool too, but that makes you, like, makes your opinion less respectable to somebody who's, like, a real fan, because a fan's gonna, like, weigh out all these things like we do, you know what I mean? A fan's gonna, like, take all these things into consideration and try to, like, break it down and see, like, what's really what, and we, like, you know what I mean? It hinders other artists, they do it 100% on their own, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it really is. It's just like we said. It's all perspective. It's all perception. How you fucking view shit. You know,
Yeah.
same thing. Like what we heard about Will Ferrell is just like what other people say, and why I didn't believe it is because it's what other people say. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, okay, it makes me believe it on one hand, and then at the same time, it makes me not believe it because I'm not there. I don't know him or whatever. I'm sure he's probably one of the nicest guys ever too. You know what I'm saying? He seems that way. He seems like a sweet guy. You know,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell. Yeah, he's probably funny as shit. He's probably super nice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you catch him on a bad time and he's an asshole, I mean, like that means he's human, just like everybody else. You know, so who's to say?
Yeah. So I say that we get into this smoke sesh and brighten it up in here because I'm tired of these corporations fucking telling me what's like.
Yeah, who's gonna sing to us?
I have the perfect piece, and this is the Channel 4 news team singing a classic from the 70s, Afternoon Delight. Everybody out there, flick your bics, snap your pics, hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh. We can all smoke together.
Well, it's really quite simple. It's kind of like... Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night? When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together, making sparks ignite. And the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Dude, that fucking is amazing.
Tell the world about your Afternoon Delight story.
My Afternoon Delight story? What is this story you're talking about? About the sex I had?
No, about how you were trying to score earlier.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get into that. It's already been pretty negative. Let's talk about this film because this movie, first of all, have you seen the sequel?
Yep.
Did you know that it was made entirely from, or mostly from, just scrap footage from the first movie?
No.
And I didn't really think about this until I read it, but when they released the original trailer for the movie and did the promotional rounds for it and everything, there's a lot of stuff that was in the trailers that were taken out of the film in the final cut. And I remember seeing the preview where Ron got shot in the arm, and then it was like him and Veronica, and they were like coming out of like an ambulance or something, and he had like a bandaged arm and shit, and nobody got shot the whole movie. Well, I mean, people got shot during the fight scene, but there was that, and then there was like a couple other ones that just got taken out of the movie, which is weird.
Okay,
to promote a
which
movie
movie-
as one thing and then not even have the scenes in there.
Which movie are you talking about?
The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, but what movie are you talking about was the part 2?
What do you mean?
Because there's a Wake Up Ron Burgundy, the Lost movie that was released on DVD in 2004.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the one.
That's the one that includes 93 minutes of abandoned subplots and alternate takes from the original film. But that's not the sequel.
Oh, all right. And then The Legend Continues is the sequel that they shot
Yeah.
as a new movie.
Yeah.
All right. That makes more sense because I was like, how'd they get that whole fucking movie out of there? And everybody looks a little bit older when they make the next one.
Well, yeah, and the next movie is about something completely different.
Mm-hmm. But Another thing that's dope that you could tell, and especially in the outtakes, is that a lot of this movie was improvised, and with the team that they had, it was like it was Will Ferrell, it was what's his face, it was Steve Carell, it was Paul Rudd, and the guy Champ, and the guy Champ.
That's
so,
me.
just like the team of these people together, they're all homies. They all get along. They were all like in a lot of movies together. And we talk about it a lot. When you get the right people in the right project, it makes like this certain spark. And just that song, you know, they weren't singing it, but just that scene and that song and all the banter that they had back and forth. Brick killed a guy with the trident. You know what I mean?
What do you mean they weren't singing it?
Do you think they were singing it?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to find it out. You take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm going to Google and find out if they were singing it.
This is not a Church of Cannabis episode. Please do not let Jeebus take the wheel if you're driving. It won't be good for your health. I promise. We'll leave that for another episode. What does it say? Oh, do you know what Ron Burgundy's full name is?
Ronald James Duchovny Burgundy.
No.
What is it?
It's Ronald Joseph Aaron Burgundy.
Ronald Joseph Aaron Burgundy?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that your actual voice singing Anchorman Delight? Anchorman Delight. You know that classic song, Anchorman Delight? Here, I found a little Q&A. Now I just got to scan through it and find the fucking question.
It's them.
Yeah, they didn't answer the question. They just danced around it. They asked if they actually sang it, and then Will Ferrell was like, "Yes, unfortunately, that was us." And then they started talking about how they were singing a different song, and then they all broke into song during the interview. And then they stopped, and then they said, to answer your question, yes, we have recording projects in the future. And that they're going to record an album or something. So, I don't know. It might have been them.
I think so.
You think so? Because, look, I
don't know, though.
I'm going to run this back real quick.
Light of day, and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway.
That's Will Ferrell's voice for sure. He's one of them.
Working up my appetite, looking forward to a
gotta be
little
all of them.
afternoon delight.
Their fucking faces are crazy. It's
It's
like
gotta be them.
Paul Rudd and Steve Carell do the highs, and then they like stop singing, Ron and Champ, and their faces are like just faces of approval. Like, good job. That sounds beautiful. It does. I think it is them, because
It
that
is
was
them.
definitely Will Ferrell's voice.
It's gotta be them.
That's crazy, man. That's so dope. They schooled it. They did such a good job.
Yeah, it's like fucking John C. Reilly in the other one. What's it?
Walk hard.
Walk Hard, yeah.
Walk hard.
He sings all that shit in there. He
It's
kills
easy
it.
to sing at that pitch, though. Sing something.
Bro, he sung so many.
Sing something as
song.
Walk Hard.
Sing song. No.
Walk hard.
Yeah, right. He can't even hit the pitch. Hey, he fucking sung a lot of songs in that shit in a lot of different ways, too.
Here, you sing a note, and I'll tell you the pitch.
No.
B flat.
Yeah, right. You're like a pitch meter?
Yeah, I am.
You know it all?
So another thing that was dope about this movie is that Ron Burgundy turned into like a character that would just pop up all over the place. I remember seeing him for years. And then when they put out the second movie, he was all over the place too. And it's cool because the way the character is, he could sit in on pretty much anything. He could sit in on like a news broadcast. He could sit in on a sports broadcast. He could sit in as a host for something, a guy on the scene interviewing people, like anything that a newsman would do, he can school it. Because Ron Burgundy is one of the greatest newsmen ever. Will Ferrell is an actor, and he just absorbs his roles. So he becomes Ron Burgundy, and craziness ensues. So I have this clip of a bunch of highlights of Ron Burgundy guest anchoring things, I believe it is. Is that what it is?
Something like that. I think it's just on one news program. I think he just was like guest anchor for one show or something.
Yeah, so imagine watching your local news. This is just a local news station. You're sitting back watching whatever news station is in your area. It goes to commercial or like video, shows some video about the zoo and how the tiger is sick and how they're feeding him like rabbits to keep him alive and shit. And then it flashes back to the news desk. They're like, back to you in the studio. And then all of a sudden, your regular news guy is replaced with Ron Burgundy, and he's just sitting there and chilling. I'd shit my pants, and then I would drive to the news station immediately because they're doing it live, and it's probably only 20 minutes from your house.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Amber Schatz.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Thanks for joining us tonight. And now Jared joins us with a first look at the forecast. Jared, how are you?
Very well, Ron. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
Last time I saw you, you were a lot heavier. I feel like you lost like 50 pounds.
Yes, I've lost just a little bit of weight.
Well, good for you.
Thanks for noticing.
Good for you.
In other news around the state tonight, authorities say a Black Friday shoplifter in Grand Forks abandoned a cart full of stolen items and hit a store employee with her car as she sped away from the parking lot.
She just
Police
tried not
say
to
the
laugh.
incident happened around 9 a.m.
It appears it was a busy day for responders. Firefighters also were called to a Sam's Club in Bismarck to help extinguish a trash fire in the parking lot. The fire department used approximately 500 gallons. I repeat, 500 gallons of water and foam to extinguish the fire. There were no injuries at this incident. Along with Santa's visit, families can enjoy wagon rides, caroling, and s'mores in downtown Mandan. And maybe they'll get a Jack Togo, who knows?
She's just fucking laughing her ass off. And then she was trying to do her job, and he's all leaning into the frame and all just like comes in out of the side. That was dope.
He'd be a great news anchor.
Yep. It was funny because he was doing his job. He was doing the job of a news anchor instead of, like, what did he do? He pronounced s'mores properly. S'mores. And he leaned into her frame.
Yeah.
And he made the Jared from Subway joke before he was a rapist.
He should have did the hand thing.
I don't know what to do. That's the wrong character, though.
I know, but it's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do with my hands. You just put him down by your side.
It's so funny. So funny.
So, what is your favorite character out of the 4 news team members?
The most ridiculous one was Steve Carell for sure.
Yeah, Steve Carell. That's probably
He was like a walking piece of furniture. Basically, like he fucking served no purpose in the whole movie whatsoever. He was hilarious.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. A walking piece of furniture.
Yeah.
God.
For real though, his best line was "I love lamp."
I love Lamp.
Yeah.
And then I remember during the fight in the fucking like news channel fight, he had a hand grenade. Just out of nowhere. Just had a hand grenade, pulled the pin, and was just walking around screaming, just like, ah! And then and then they brought it up later. They were like, Brick had a grenade. I killed a guy with a trident. That reminds me, you should probably find some family nearby and lay low for a while.
Yeah.
You're probably wanted for murder.
Yeah. That was a good impression.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
So,
It smelled like a turd covered in burnt hair.
all right. One thing that conspiracy theorists have picked out of this movie is the number 4 is very prominent in the whole movie. The station is channel number 4. The Channel 4 news team has 4 members originally. The opposing news team has 4 members. Burgundy mentions a bank loan being denied to the Human Torch, who is a member of the Fantastic Four. When Ron is talking with Fantana from a public phone, on Fantana's desk you could see a 4x4 version of a Rubik's Cube.
That's a lot of F's.
After the first time You see Ron delivering the news. You can see the screen divided in 4, showing San Diegans repeating Ron's "stay classy" phrase. Behind Ron's desk, there's a piece of advertisement saying Ron Burgundy is #1 in San Diego. It has 4 pictures of him in it. 4.
Who are these conspirators?
You know what else? Every single cast member has 2 hands and 2 feet. 4.
4.
And you know how Brick wears glasses?
4 and 4.
4 eyes.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe this is an actual thing.
I know, that is pretty cool actually. I'm sure some crazy motherfuckers came up with that, but
The
that's cool.
The 4 conspiracy.
What does the 4 have in it? Triangle. What does the triangle lead to? Illuminati.
4? Shit, a 4 does have a triangle in it. Shit.
4 Illuminati.
Careful, man. If we haven't really gauged Pat and Nat yet, so we can't talk about too much crazy shit. They might be part of the 4 Illuminati. 4 Illuminati.
That's awesome.
Let's see. I have some incredibly classy facts
What you got?
about this film. First of all, the physical inspiration for Ron Burgundy was Harold Green, who was a old news anchor from the 70s in San Diego. And I don't know, I have this video of him. He probably doesn't sound like him, or it's like crazy like him. He just kind of looks like him. So they think that's where they took him from. That fact is not so classy. So 0 so far, classy facts.
All right.
Let's see. The first draft included John C. Reilly as Champ, Chris Parnell as Brick, Ben Stiller as Brian Fantana, Dan Aykroyd as Garth Holiday, which is who Chris Parnell ended up being. So that's a lot of people. John C. Reilly, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin.
But if you think about the fight scene, there was a shitload of cameos in that fight scene. That's where Ben
there was
Stiller
a shitload of cameos in general, just so the whole fucking movie was riddled with cameos, basically.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow made a cameo.
That's right.
He's the one who said that the cologne smelled like a turd covered in burnt hair.
And then Jerry Minor made a cameo. And I've been listening to him on a lot of podcasts lately. He's been on Horatio Sands' podcast, and he lives in LA, right next to Griffith Park.
Go there all the time.
Let's see.
Seth Rogen made a cameo.
And then
The cameraman at the cat fashion show.
God, there's so many fucking amazing scenes in this movie.
He plays the funniest cameos.
Here, I got a scene right here from this film, and it's a teleprompter scene. I think we all know it. We all love it. This is just one of the classic moments in this movie. And there was something else that I wanted to add to it, but it's gone. I've been smoking these cookies. I've been smoking this cookies. And it's got me like,
Hope you're not smoking these cookies. Those are not to be smoked.
those are not to be smoked.
Let's go to Brian Fantana
tighter one on
live
two.
on the scene with a Channel 4 News exclusive. Brian?
And to watch. The mood is tense. I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this. Ching King is inside right now. I tried to get an interview with him. They said, nope, you can't do that. He's a live bear. He will literally rip your face off. Hey, you're making me look stupid. Get out here, panda jerk.
Great story. Compelling and rich. Well, That's going to do it for all of us here at Channel 4 News. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter? For the last time, anything you put on that prompter, Burgundy will read.
Wow.
So
All right.
funny.
And then
If there was a real person who did that shit, it wouldn't. There actually was
yeah,
a real person who did that shit in real life.
we actually didn't we just play a video from him? Wasn't it Bill O'Reilly?
No,
But Bill
no.
O'Reilly had the same thing where he was very anal about the teleprompter, and if there was nothing there, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he was in a sense he was really like that.
Yeah.
But I know one that got slipped through.
Some little teleprompter fuck up.
Yeah.
All right. Here it is. I can't say that, so I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah, this was a real thing. This happened on the news, and somebody pulled a fast one, and you'll see.
Names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao.
A TV station has
Holy
landed itself with some hot
shit.
That's the real life Ron Burgundy.
Oh
she gets
my
the
God.
award. Ka-ching.
No
You know what I'm
way.
saying? There you go. Somebody pulled a fast
Captain,
one.
something wrong. We too low. Holy fuck. Bang ding ow. Holy shit.
It was a plane crashing during its takeoff or some shit.
It was so serious. That was like such a serious situation. But it's like did you hear about there was a pilot that was flying the wrong way in airspace, like how there's like certain like routes in airspace and shit. Well, he was flying the wrong way down a route and ran into another plane, and one of the pilots, the one that was going the wrong way, was Korean, and his name was Wong Wei. And this was 100% real. And I remember I heard it on a podcast. Someone was like working the door at the Comedy Store, and the night it happened, I want to say it was like Ari Shaffir, and he said that there was like 15 comics that went up, and he saw every single comic do a Wong Wei joke. So you hear about this plane that crashed up in the sky? Pilot name was Wong Wei, and then like the crowd laughed, and then the next guy goes on and does a Wong Wei joke, and the crowd laughs a little bit less, and then like by like the third or fourth time, the crowd was like, "What the fuck? Are you guys like playing a joke on me? Like, what's happening here? Why is every single comedian saying this?" And you know, comedians show up like 10 minutes before their set, and then they leave. A lot of them, because they have multiple sets in a night, especially when you're coming up. And he was like, these kids would come in thinking that they had the best joke. They're like, "Oh, it's right now. This shit just happened. I'm gonna kill with it." And everybody had the same idea. So it's like, it was an example of joke thievery and parallel thinking. Like nobody stole a joke from each other. Everybody just had the same thought because it was right there. So
right then, yeah.
So this could have been, you know, after that or somewhere around that time. And she was like, "Hey man, they got different names that sound suspiciously like the things that happened. So maybe we just got to roll with it." And she was just doing her job.
She just didn't put it together.
You figure she would have like realized halfway through. But what if you're reading it and then it starts to sound like something wrong, we too low, and you're like, "Wait a minute, is this a joke?" And then you stop, and then if it's not a joke, you disrespected the other two people by not reading their names on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
it's a touchy
you gotta
ground.
have some type of foresight. You gotta like read what you're reading before you say it. Obviously, if that's your job, you have to be able to like know how to read well and know like, you know what I'm saying, be able to decipher what you're actually saying before you say it, or you look like a dummy.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what you're saying, why are you saying it, type of thing, you know what I mean? And I mean, that's obviously, there's no way that those ever could have been real.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, there's no
those
way.
are not the three are 4 people with the magic luckiest fucking name combinations ever. No.
Yeah, halfway through, she should have realized something was wrong.
Yeah.
She should have been like, and then been like, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. The screen went out.
5 to the forehead, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. So, another interesting fact that I found out was the voiceover was done by Bill Curtis, who is a veteran Chicago news anchor. And he refused to say penis. Okay? Now think about this movie and how crazy it is. How, like, it gets very vulgar at times. And I'm sure that he cursed a lot, but he just wouldn't say penis. Because he said that it might be an embarrassment. And then after the movie did good, he said that he was open to saying it in the sequel. What the fuck, man? Like, what time are you living in to where you can't say penis? It's a medical term. Penis is medical. There's nothing, we don't have to bleep that. We don't have to bleep anything, but we don't have to bleep that. You know what I mean?
No bleep that.
You could go into, you can go into a school and say penis is what I was about to say. I don't know if you can, but I'm pretty sure if I
Here's
were...
a fact.
Okay. Yeah, good.
No, I'm
good.
just kidding.
Move me away from fucking school, from schools and penises.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a fact, all right?
Okay.
During the opening credits, Ron's blazer's being cleaned off with a lint roller.
And a lint roller wasn't around in the 70s?
The earliest patent on a lint roller is August 1983.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, also, I feel like they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't know. Everything else was pretty era correct. They really tried to keep everything in the 70s. The cars, the fucking the stuff in his house.
Well, maybe if we were to look into it, maybe the lint roller was invented in San Diego by some guy that lived in San Diego, and he didn't put the patent on it for like another 10 years after he made it.
He just like hooked Ron Burgundy up.
Yeah, but he would like sell them in like fucking shops and shit around town, and then someone was like, "Who made this? Let's get rich," and then they patented it. So maybe it was around, and Ron Burgundy like had the hookup at his like tailor. His tailor was like, "Look, man, I got this shit. This dude, he makes this sticky roll, gets all the fucking all the fuzz off you, your little dog fuzz." That's another penis fact. Baxter's dick was in the movie a whole lot, and they ended up cutting it out of a lot of the movie. They circumcised it.
Nice.
So during the end of one of the newscasts, the credits roll on the screen, on the small news screen in the studio, and you see a couple names pop up. John Hamm and Adam Scott are two of them, and they weren't as huge as they are now. I mean, John Hamm, like, he was in Mad Men, now he's in everything else. Adam Scott was just recently in fucking The Krampus and his run on Parks and Rec and everything else that he's been in. But this was like, they were still kind of unknown, and they were homies with Paul Rudd. They all got along and smoked weed together, probably. So he put their names in the credits, kind of like as a shout out to his homies. So like if you were, in a movie and they were like making this thing and they were just all like, all right, now we're just going to run some fake credits. And you were like, hey, put in my homies. Like, here's the fake names that you use. And then you just use the real names of your friends and give them a little shout out, which is dope. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's cool. It's cool. Like all these like little groups of actors that we talk about all the time.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Always looking out for each other and shit.
Yeah. I think that's super respectable for sure.
So
it's definitely the way to go.
So I have another scene of Ron Burgundy getting down on the jazz flute that we could smoke to.
Jazz flute.
Little Blaze, little NHP smoke sesh before we get out of here. And I know that he's... What's up?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that he's been playing the flute since he was like 3. That's a thing that Will Ferrell apparently has been singing and playing the flute his whole life. So you wonder why it's not in more of his movies.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only movie I can think of that I've seen him play it.
Yeah, well, it says in the club, when he plays the flute, he plays in the style of Ian Anderson, the lead singer and flautist. Is that how you say someone who plays the flute?
Yeah.
Jethro Tull, anyways.
Flutist?
Something like that. Whatevs.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm not a fucking flautist. Well, I think you say it flautas.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, that's either a person that plays the flute or a Mexican dish.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Guys, East Harlem Shakedown, E flat. Keep the cymbal splashy, and Jerry, let's take the bass line for a walk. Hold on. I'm not hearing it right. Hold on.
I don't know if I buy that.
We got it now. It's all right.
Fire up, Ronnie.
Little ham and eggs coming at you. Hold on, people. Hope you got your griddles. That's baby making music. That's what that is.
Will Ferrell could be a rapper.
Let's go.
Oh shit. Damn. Aqualung.
Which was a Jethro Tull song.
Dope. So Catsy Buckingham, I can't say that right, was the one that played Ron Burgundy's flute solo. I don't know. Yeah, okay. He also played Todd, the young man who gave Alyssa Milano a hickey in Who's the Boss episode The Hickey. And he also played the flute and saxophone on Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Hell yeah.
That's dope, right? Yeah, so the same dude that was freaking that flute right there in that scene also recorded all the flute and the saxophone that you hear on Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which I'm going to listen to today just for flute and saxophone.
Yeah, I'm going to see. Where's that?
Yeah, I'm going to see where it is. But
where it's at.
Where it's at. Sorry, I said it wrong. I'm going to see where it's at. I forgot to put respect on it.
Put some respect on it.
Mm-hmm.
Put some respect when you mention my name.
That's dope, though. It sucks that Will Ferrell's been playing the flute since he was 3, but but they had to have a stand-in flute player to make it better.
Is that a natural habitat fact or like an actual fact? That's a nat hab fact all day.
I don't know, man. I feel like I read that somewhere.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna try to find it.
I'm not buying it.
What is it? Let's see. I can do it like this. I can go find on page and I can type in flute. All right.
Jazz flute.
Says in the nightclub, Ron plays jazz flute. Ian Anderson, leader of Jethro Tull, flautist.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Flautist.
Right? What is up with that?
Let's see. Let's try it like this.
Fancy and shit.
Okay, Will Ferrell has played flute since elementary school. That is a fact that is on IMDb, which means it may or may not be true. You heard me?
Probably may not.
I don't know, man. I think it's real because it also says that one of Brian Fantana's colognes is called Lime Prop.
Yeah.
Which also sounds real.
Which the fucking colognes were also from the 2000s and not the 70s.
Yeah, and what were the names? Sex Panther?
Yeah, something like that.
Sex Panther. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's multiple scenes in this movie. There's just too much shit. Like there's a lot of shit that we didn't talk about, that we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
But
that happens every time we do one of these. That's Saturday matinee style, bro.
Yep, that's the
can't fit it all in one episode. We just got to get people pumped and ready to go watch the shit.
Yeah, go watch it because we get monetization every time that you play it. No. Okay. Because we enjoy it and we think that you will too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, we enjoyed this and we think that you will too. So go watch it. I'm gonna go listen to Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Yeah. Don't listen to us.
Yeah. Don't listen to that. I'm gonna listen to that. You don't listen to that.
Yeah.
If you do, only listen for flutes and saxophones, and then
and more flute
and watch the film with the flute.
Flute on.
Flute on. Flute on, brothers and sisters.
Catch a flute.
Catch a flute?
I don't give a flute.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's one more. I feel like you got one more in you.
No, I'm good.
No, there's got to be one more flute pun.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Natural Habitat Recordings.